LPJ Design presents.
Hey everybody, it's Lewis Porter Jr. I'm trying to record in my car, but I've got a lot of background noise. It's hot. And I know a lot of you are saying, what? Okay, if you don't know, I live in South Florida, and it's hot. It's our winter. Our winter lasts about 2 days. It was cold for like literally 2 days. It was in the 60s. So you woke up in the 40s and got to the 60s, it was just frigid. That's frigid for Florida. You think you're all laughing, but I mean, really, it's frigid for us. So we did that, and it's like, oh God, it was horrible. And it was horrible. It was, for Florida, it's horrible. You can't have a lot of cold. You have lizards; they'll die like that. You won't believe. So our winter's over, so we're back to normal. So it's like what does my watch say? No, I don't know how far I stepped. I don't know about that. No, I don't know about the message I just got. It is 79 today. It's 79. Okay, this is typical weather for fall. I mean, fall. Good Lord. I guess for winter. It's what do you call winter? But this is kind of typical. It's a little warm too, but it's pretty typical. So, and I mean, really, it doesn't get okay. Since we're gonna go off beat on this one, this is apparently the winter episode. Why is my AC sucking like the way it did this? Oh, does that that high? Oh, sorry. That's right. I'm turning my AC in my car to make you all just even hate me some more. It's all hot. It's all hot. I gotta wait till I drive a little bit. Anyway, this is what it's like in South Florida. I have to deal with the heat. So I just got off work and I said, hey, let me drive home. Let me do one of my transparency agendas so I can maybe get this at home and put it online and get it all set. Ta-da! Which I love to do. This is the fun part of my day, actually. So I wanted to do a quick recap. I want to thank everybody who saw our last one with the awesome Sean K. Reynolds, who was nice enough to do one of our Google Hangouts with us, which I'm going to be doing again with John Wick on Memorial Day? Easter? No, I think it's Easter for him. I'm in the process of trying to solidify Jason Nelson of Legendary Games to do it for St. Patty's Day. So I'm just letting him come on, and we're going to talk about, what's it like to be, a top-level freelancer. I mean, Jason, I can say, yeah, Jason and his group, Legendary Games has probably all the best freelancers you can imagine to have. Well, I don't put the stencil stuff in. That you can imagine to have on your company doing freelance work. And so, there's tons of guys. I mean, just a lot of great guys doing great stuff. And I mean, his venture plugins have been very well accepted by the fan base. And it doesn't hurt that a lot of the guys that worked on the Venture Paths, this is a material that connects to it. So it's kind of a win-win, which, and I've had the pleasure of meeting Jason a couple times. I was at PaizoCon, very, very, very friendly, very, very nice guy. So I was like, hey, I think he'd be good on video, and I think we could talk about lots of different things. And I think that's part of it too. It's not just the whole, hey, we're going to talk about, this stuff. We can talk about other stuff that's related to, and we're both, he's a big comic book geek, I'm a big comic book geek, so, we're talking about all kinds of stuff. Probably, there's a good chance we will talk about the Avengers movie upcoming and what we want to see, and it'll be fun. So, today I wanted to talk about something that's kind of a spin-off of recent days of things that have happened. And this is going to be one of those ones where it's going to sound weird, but, whatever, so this is a combination of, I put up a post, actually I put up 2 posts on 2 days, so 2 separate things. The first post of, okay, I just saw the weirdest ever sticker on the back of a car, and I must be reading this. This guy actually has in the back of his car, it says, guilty of being white. So I don't know what that means, but, it made me go, at least made me go, what the? Okay, whatever. Where were we? Oh yeah, my 2 posts. So I put these 2 posts up, and the first post was basically showing off some new artwork we picked up from one of our artists who does work for us, and he sent it in. It's a nice piece. I thought it was a very nice piece. I was like, hey, this is a great piece. I can't wait to show this off. And that was the beginning of the day. And like the first couple of ones were like, hey, it's a really nice piece of artwork. Then this guy came in and was like, did you pay this guy shit money like you do all artists? And I'm like, what the, and I'm like, holy cow, dude, do I? And the guy's name was Sham, whatever. It's in, if you see the thread, it's a thread going on with it. And it's like, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And it's like, and then I basically and then it's like, oh wow, I got to fight already. And then someone, of course, thought it was funny. And I'm like, okay, let me respond to it in the best way I know how, with a little bit of class, but a little bit of, you know, finger in the eye, because that's just me. I'm not going to give it to you, you know, friendly all the time. So basically I told him, hey, genius, this guy and I have been working together for years. I paid him what he wanted to get paid based on the prices we both accepted, and then we make great artwork. And then I put up the guy's rates. Now, this is going to spin off from this conversation. Now, not many artists put up the rates of what they work for. The guy I happen to know who does, and I put the rates up. These are the rates that he wants. And, you know, I paid him the guy's rates. What am I supposed to? That's what he wanted. I paid what he wanted. That's what you're supposed to do. This guy then returns to Shemp guy, who I still don't know who this guy is. Responds, oh, you probably made him put those prices because you've beaten them down so low. And I'm just like, okay, that's it. At that moment, I've decided, let's get in the gutter. Let's get in the gutter. We're going to get gully. I'm good with that. If you didn't know, I'm not afraid to get dirty and fight. I've never been. That's, you know, hey, you want to get down? We can get down. I'm all for it. Let's have some fun. So I basically had to read this guy the riot act of how stupid he sounds. And it's like, oh, and I basically put it, and this is the real, me just shortening it up, and you can find it online. It's just like, oh yes, it's horrible that I gave the guy exactly what he wanted. I mean, what kind of person would give somebody exactly what they want when they ask for it? I must be some kind of asshole. And it's just like, wow, dude, what is your problem? And then some other people came in and were like, dude, you know, it's okay that he gave him what he wanted. I don't see the problem. And so you get this whole mentality. And then eventually Shemp, whatever, pulled the messages down off the board. And this is on a Facebook page. And he pulled them down. I don't know why he pulled them down. That was his choice. Or someone deleted them. I didn't delete them. My stuff stayed up there. Because I'm just like, you know, if I say something, I said it. I'm not afraid to defend it. You may not like it, and that's cool. But, you know, I'm not going to be afraid to say it. You know, you say it. Stand by what you said. If you're man enough, just stand by it. If you fucked up, sorry. If you fucked up, just accept it. And say, hey, you know, I messed up. I'm man enough to admit it. There's nothing wrong with doing that. I did that with Nick Logue, you know, with Razor Coast. Dude, I messed up. I'm totally in the wrong. And you know, hey, I apologized to him. He was really cool about it. And, you know, he kept it very cool. You know, he could have been an ass, and he'd have every right to, but he had a lot more class than me. Can't deny it. And that's the truth. But this guy, you know, I never quite understand. So on the internet, I always think people get full of themselves. So they think they can respond any way they want, say anything they want on the internet, because for some reason, you know, there's that barrier of, well, these guys will never find out who I am, so I can say whatever. So I can really be the real me. Whatever that I'm the real me on video. People met me in person. People talk to me. This is me. This is what you get. You don't like me? Well, that's okay. You know, people didn't like Jesus Christ, so I'm okay with that. So that's how I feel about that whole deal. So we put up a post, also in a second post, this is number 2, that we were going to have, sorry, stopping short here, that we're going to have John Wick do Transparency Agenda. And then some people were like, oh, Wick, oh my God, what an asshole. Da, da, da. And I'm just like, why would you even say that? If you don't like the guy, why do you need to respond to it? And, you know, I don't like walnuts, so I don't eat walnuts. I don't go out and say, oh, walnuts. They put another ad for walnuts. How horrible. You see this ad of walnuts? It's like, what the? I don't understand people who do that. That's just I always say that's like third grade girl stuff. Maybe that's, you know, that's what third grade girls do, you know. I don't like her because she didn't like me, and that's how it feels. That's what it sounds like to me, so. And I'm just looking at these guys, I'm just like, dude, if you don't like the guy, then don't read his stuff, don't support him, you don't have to do anything. You just have to not do anything. And then one guy started saying some stuff that I knew was blatantly not true. And he lied about it. He lied. He said, "Oh, you know, he sold 7C." He said, John Wick said that he would never do 7C as a D20 product. 7C was owned by AEG. AEG then let, oh, what is this? Then, oh, are you kidding me? Jesus. Of course, and only in Florida would they be fixing lights in the middle of rush hour. Only Florida. Like, they got a big truck out. What it looks like. Oh my God, these guys are only in Florida. Only in Florida. But anyway, with that, I mean, this guy said that John Wick basically sold the rights to sell 7C to Paizo, not Paizo, good Lord, WotC to do this as a D20 product, which I knew wasn't true. I mean, I knew for a fact it was not true. And I'm like, John had already left at that time. He'd already left AEG. He'd already gone on to do other stuff. So to hear people say that, it's like, oh, it's a bull-faced lie. Let me get on and make sure, confirm, look at my old copies. So I look at my copies, and I'm like, yep. I knew he wasn't going to be there. So I wrote back to the guy, I'm like, dude, what you said was totally false. Yeah, come on. What you said was totally false. It was totally untrue. And then the guy responds, oh, you're right. He's just an egotistical jerk. And I'm just like, wow. You lied on the guy. You lied on him. Point blank. You lied on him. You said something that wasn't true. You didn't check your facts. You spread rumor, and you didn't do that. And then you had the audacity to get mad or upset. And unless you did apologize. You apologize because the guy's egotistical. Look, I don't want to break it to you. Everyone's egotistical. And, oh yes, he said hypocrite, which I thought was the best one. And everyone's a hypocrite. Everyone. Everyone's a hypocrite. All of them. Stop saying, oh, I've never been a hypocrite. You're lying right now and you're being a hypocrite. Trust me. Everyone's being a hypocrite. Been one, done one, gonna be one again. All right? Don't sit there and try to pretend like, oh, I've never done something like that. I would never do that. When everybody ever tells me, there's a line. Everybody ever tells me, oh, there's some lines that I never would cross. Okay, there's a TV show that came on for a very short time. For I think it was like 2 episodes, maybe 3 on Fox. It was done by Stephen Cannell. It was called Profit. And one of the cool lines from the advertising, and I've never forgotten, because I thought this was amazing. This was an amazing ad. Boom. And the guy said, the lines that people said they never would crossed, they've already crossed them. They just did it when they thought no one was looking. And I'm like, wow, that's a great line. And that is a great line, because that's what people do, man. They say, oh, I would never do that. I would never. Republicans do it all the time, saying, I would never be involved in a gay relationship. And then you pop up, you see them tapping their foot in bathrooms and picking up dudes. I'm like, come on, dude, come on. What? Stop saying there's a line you never would cross. There's no line you wouldn't cross. People do things when they need to do them, for whatever reason they need to do them. Situational morality, that's kind of what we live in, Hey, I'm like this till this happens. I'd never kill a man until he, killed my son. I'd never do this until this happened. It's all situational. So just accept that. I'm sorry I got to scream a little bit because I got both windows down, but I'm trying to cool. It's so hot I'm sweating in my shirt. I don't want to get all funky. Whatever. So, let me pull this up a little bit. So, I mean, this just went on. And people, so I'm just like amazed at people's manners. Just basic common manners. It's like, if you don't like something or you're not sure, just don't, whatever happened to, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Remember that? Remember it used to be the golden rule? And people used to follow that. Be like, not my thing, I'm not going to get involved, boom. Not my circus, not my monkeys, that kind of thing. But people today seem like they have to, it's like, they've got to prove, I know it's right and I must say this like this. And you know what? I've done that sometimes. Sometimes. We've all done it sometimes. But you gotta wonder, like, what has happened to make us think that we have to respond to all this stuff? I mean, like I said, I wrote a thing about how do you like this piece of art? This guy started talking about what I paid people, and that divulged a whole different spin-off of what people get paid artist-wise. And now the same piece I'm still having, people are still discussing this, and I kind of spun it out something else of that. And out of that little discussion, I was like, I really wish artists would put their rates, people driving fast, not paying attention. I really wish people would put their art rates online, like what they're going to charge for stuff. And some artists were like, yeah, that's a good idea. And I said, as a publisher, I would love that. I'm sure other publishers might feel the exact same way. And you got a lot of people saying, yeah, I think I would appreciate that. And then you got writers, I'm saying artists now. Some artists kick back and were like, no, it's very complex. I can't give you a range of what I think I'd be able to pay because there's several different factors of this and that and this. And I'm one of those guys. I'm like, look, the reason you want to tell people what to charge is because you're going to charge one guy one thing and another guy another thing. And I get that, and I understand that. And that's not a problem to me. I, just as a publisher, would like to know what ballpark you're playing in. Are you playing in the I'm this high-end ballpark over here, or I'm playing over here because I think I can get, because I work in a place where I don't need to get paid as much as other people who live somewhere else. The guy I use to do a lot of my art is relatively, damn truck, is relatively inexpensive, which is, relatively speaking. You know, some people are like, oh, I would never charge that little for that. Okay, you may not. He's able to because where he lives is economics, and that's just how it is. And some people are like, well, that's not fair. I'm like, look, dude, I didn't tell the guy to live there. He lives where he lives. He does what he does. He gets paid what he gets paid. Those are factors I can't control. Well, maybe the payment one, but still, I can't really control that. But only if he accepts it, then we work together, and ta-da. But if he doesn't, he doesn't. So, you know, these are all factors really you can't control per se. I just think it's interesting how many people have like the attitude of, I don't want to put my pricing up because me figuring out my pricing is so complex, it can't be, you know, you can't measure it. And I just think it's like everything gets measured, everything. You know, I think all of us, at least the publishers I know, in our head have a mental idea of what we're willing to pay for artwork from certain people on certain things they do. Now, there's certain artists that get paid very, very well, and they don't have pricing. But some of those guys will never have pricing because, you know, get my ear, flick out of the door, because that's who they are. You know, Wayne Reynolds, yeah, I know what Wayne Reynolds gets paid. You know, I know because I've asked him, because I wanted to work with Wayne Reynolds. When he told me the price, I was like, ouch! But you know what? He's a good artist. I mean, say what you like. You put a Wayne Reynolds cover on anything, you know, people are going to be like, ooh, what's that? You know, I mean, that is just the way it is. That being said, wow, man, I don't think I can swing that. I don't think I can. I'm not Paizo, and I'm a one-guy shop with a bunch of good freelancers, and, you know, we can't swing that price. Love to. During a Kickstarter, I'm going to do that. You know, and I'll put half the money up like he suggested. That's something he says. So you put half the money up, so it's serious, which I don't think is a problem. But it's like, wow, you know, that's a lot of money. That being said, you know, I don't feel bad that he doesn't put his prices up for that. You know, at that level. But there are not a lot of guys at the same level as him. That's just the way it is. And the guys that aren't at that level, you know, or movies trying to get up to that level, think about tossing out some prices for us, because it really helps us a lot. I mean, people don't understand, when you're in publishing, you got to hunt down everything. You know, you got to hunt down artists, and you see a guy's. I'll give you a great example. There's an artist I used to use. I won't name his name, but if you know me well enough, you'll know who it is. Like I said, I'm not going to put his name out there. He recently started doing work for Paizo, and I'm like, oh, you know, very cool guy. His artwork is good. You know, I'm very thankful that he got a job at Paizo. He's a good artist, no doubt about it. And the rate I got from him was an awesome rate. Can't even lie. It was an awesome, awesome rate. And I went back to him and I was like, hey, you know, I've got some more work. I didn't talk to you about doing some more work. He goes, yeah. He goes, but my prices have changed. I'm like, okay, well, what are your prices? He's like, okay, my prices have, wait for it, quadrupled. Now, quadruple's a lot. I don't care how, if it was $1 today and $4 tomorrow, you're gonna do that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. He quadrupled his prices. Now, that being said, he gave me a great rate. Now, was it so great that quadrupling would still have me probably work with him? Oh no. I mean, him quadrupling his rate basically made it what I would pay for, you know, cover and stuff like that. And we're talking character design stuff. We're not talking like full page artwork or anything. We're talking about character design. Something I do very common. You'll see most of my stuff is a lot of character design stuff because I like that art. So that artwork, he quadrupled the price. And I came back to him and said, look, dude, hey, I understand you're working at Paizo. I get that. You want to make more? Not a problem. If you said 2.5 times, I might still be interested, even at that high level. But when you went to a factor of 4, or more probably a multiple of 4, I'm like, whoa. And then he's like, oh yeah, my half-page work has gone up even more than that. I'm just like, okay. And now, okay, a couple things going on there too. I know where he lives. He lives in South America. I know generally what the amount of money you need to live in South America. I have several South American artists I deal with. I know roughly money-wise they get paid. I know that stuff just because I know the guys. So I know him asking for this is a great income boost. I mean, like, woo, man. Talk about, like, you know, it doesn't hurt that he wants that money. You know, that's what he wants. I can't agree to it. It's not in my budget. But that's what he wants. If you can get it, hey, knock yourself out. Get that money, Playboy. I'm not mad at you. But with that said, it's like, you know, I also know the dollar's gotten stronger over the time he's got. So he's basically like maxing out the financial potential with this. And the sad part is, I liked working with him. I thought he was a good artist. I thought, geez, things killing me. I thought it would work out very well, but just I can't. Like I said, I just can't do ×4. Just can't do that. That's not good for me. That's not good for me long term. That's not good for a long term strategy for my business. You know, only one person would make out on this, and that'd be him, and then we'd be out of business, and he'd lose a client. So that's not a good thing. So I'm just, you know, I thought it was a very interesting time just talking about people on the internet and what goes on. I just wish, you know, you know, everybody knows the RPG industry is a tough industry to be financially, you know, I guess financially profitable at. But, you know, I think if you just keep trying and keep working, I think we're all going to find a reasonable middle and we'll all be happy. Alright, that's it. I'm almost done. Oh, I'm almost close to picking up Lucas, and I'm going to put on some windows so I can get some air in here, but it's hot as hell. I'll talk to you all later.